You opened up all your Christmas presents and you didn't get what you want. You didn't get the t-shirt or the hoodie or the sticker or the tote bag that you were looking for under the Hanukkah tree.
What?
No, it didn't happen.
Let's remedy that.
Yep. Go to shoptourbus.com and check out all the amazing Grateful Dead inspired merch and hook yourself up with something pretty. Treat yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get that hoodie, that tote bag, that t-shirt, that pack of stickers that you wanted.
And keep your eye out because they took a little time off, like most of us, the holidays, but they are going to be announcing the first drop very soon here.
Yep. So go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Make sure you put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word when you check out to make sure you get that free shipping. And hey, you never know, a Grateful Dead miracle bootleg may show up in your package when you order. So tell our friends over at Shop Tour Bus that we sent you by using the promo code No Simple Road. Get your free shipping. Like I said, treat yourself. It's going to be 2024 in like a matter of days.
And just because Christmas isn't over, you could still treat somebody else.
No, Christmas is over.
Well, I mean, that's what I meant. Christmas is over,
there you go, Santa
but
Claus.
you can still buy presents. That's what I meant. Santa Claus is a little tired.
ShopTourBus.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Oh, that's cool.
And third-party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look, if you're sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
When they're gone, they're gone.
The Grateful Dead Tarot.
Yep. Great. I don't know.
I'm going to look at
Hey now, No Simple Road family, it's Friday and we're back for another episode of No Simple Road. And hey, guess what, everybody?
What?
This is the final episode of 2023 for NSR. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, man. This is our 6th year of doing NSR, and I can honestly say that when I sat down on the porch on a back porch in July, back in 2017, I had no idea that it would continue going this long. No fucking clue, man. And it's just wild to think about.
You don't ever know what one decision that you make at any point of any day that will change the rest of your life.
Totally.
Because you can have multiple of those.
Yeah.
In one day.
Sure.
And then think about all the days of the week.
think about that. Every decision that you make is one of those.
Yeah.
Even down to like when to get up and go pee or what to have to drink.
Or like if you wake up 5 minutes later, that 5 minutes of sleep made you feel amazing.
And it also changed every car that you were going to see on your drive to work.
And the songs you were going to hear.
It changes the course of history.
It's fucking crazy. So
it's like that way, the butterfly effect thing.
Totally.
Like,
so in the spirit, that's the word I'm looking for, in the spirit of what we're talking about right now, we've kind of made it a tradition, I would say, at this point, at the end of the year, to have Liz and Erin, creators of the Grateful Dead Tarot deck, on the show. And we do a year to come tarot reading for the No Simple Road family and No Simple Road itself. And so that's what we have for you this week. We had Erin and Liz on a couple of weeks ago. We did the reading, and I have to say that this reading had some warnings in it. It's the first time that has happened since we've been doing this. There wasn't anything really ominous in the others.
Yeah, it got weird around May, and the comment was like, "Oh, maybe Apple's the problem."
Turn the punch bowl.
We'll find out. Oh,
Stay tuned.
By
2024.
By the way, this is Apple.
Oh yeah, and
I'm Mel.
And I'm Aaron. Darwin's over there.
Darwin's laid out.
Welcome
tonight.
back, everybody. If you don't know who we are, this is Mel, Aaron, and Apple.
Yeah.
We are 3 hosts of No Simple Road. And this is our year to come tarot reading with Liz and Erin from the Grateful Dead Tarot.
So what I want to tell all of you before we get going with this is that this reading is not just for the 3 of us. This was done with the No Simple Road family in mind. So this is for all of you as well. This is a look ahead at the year. And when you receive warnings in tarot, it doesn't mean that those things are set in stone. It's not, there's no way out of this maze. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is coming and there's nothing you could do to stop it. That is not what the tarot is about. The tarot is all about illumination and giving you a heads up so that you can make the right choices to have a less bumpy ride.
Well, I would say more informed choices, not right or wrong. You can make an informed choice.
Yeah.
We don't know what's right or wrong. We were just talking about all those decisions. We say it's wrong now, but then like that also stops something more horrible from happening from you experiencing something terrible.
I like to think of it as kind of like you got a road map. And it's not telling you where to go, but when you come to forks in the road, it kind of gives you suggestions of which way you might want to go and what to be cautious of.
Yeah. This is where an accident is. You may want to drive slow.
You may want to be a looky-loo and go by it, or you may want to avoid that completely.
I have to bring this up because I saw it earlier. We talked off air a while about Kat Von D, she has a makeup line or had a makeup line, and she's a tattoo artist and all that stuff. And I was watching an interview with her. It was like either a podcast or talk show or something. And she was talking about people that like the new age community. And I guess tarot's under that umbrella.
She is born again.
She's born again Christian. And she was talking about how people that use tarot to predict or dictate their lives. She used to do it too, and like these people were miserable. These people are, and just they're mostly single people, and they're doing these ayahuasca trips, and they're broke, and they're just unhappy, and they don't have.
Wow.
But it was like on, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, I want to just say this. Tarot is a fun game to play, and it also is something that's very serious, and you shouldn't do it, or you shouldn't take the advice if you don't like willy-nilly You know?
you don't play games with the oracle.
Yeah.
Read every story that has an oracle in it. You don't fuck with her or him.
But so I say that it can be played with as a game because it can be. You can, it's something that you don't have to believe in or not believe in.
It just is.
It just is. Exactly. Like
it does what it's going to do regardless of how you feel about it. But I will say that to your point, your believing in the efficacy of the reading that you're having does affect the reading that you're
having. Absolutely.
Yeah, kind of like
that's why I said
manifesting.
If you're, like if you're flip about it, like, oh, whatever, okay. But I just wanted to bring it up because we were doing this episode today, funny. And I heard that today earlier.
When you heard the interview, I'm just curious after hearing that about Kat Von D. Is she still tattooing?
Dude, I don't know if she's still tattooing, but she, how she was like fully sleeved?
Yeah, where you blacked
She is blacked out completely.
She still has the ones on her face, like the little stars on her face. Yeah. I saw that. But I didn't see her arms or anything to know if I didn't see what. Yeah.
And you know what, man? And I say this.
No, I am mad at her. Nothing
I say this truthfully too, man. More power to you, Kat Von D.
Yeah.
Do you.
Follow your path.
Do it.
She was living in some crazy Hollywood life with a TV show and tattooing and all kinds of fame. And like, she was probably, terrible. Well, what I'm saying is that she was probably hanging around some weird, crazy ass shit that she needed to get out of.
Yeah.
And so
I just come and hang out with us.
Look, being a born again Christian sometimes can pull you out. Like it's kind of like when you get pulled by your shirt. Like if you're gonna get in front of a car, like somebody pulls you, it's like it
saves
jerks
people's
you,
lives.
right?
Yeah, it's like getting pulled by the shirt by a used car salesman.
Yeah,
into a weird parking lot.
Yeah, and you don't want to be in that parking lot, but you're glad you're alive. There's other places.
Yeah.
So. Whatever this means to, whatever this whole dialogue beforehand means to you, take it with whatever you want. Like tarot's really a helpful tool. It has been for a lot of things in Erin and I's marriage personally, and in just our life. I know for our kids, they hold it dear. Like we used to go to vacations and always bring our tarot. It was like a fun thing to do for the day. And so
we do a card before every show.
Yeah. And so just whatever you feel about it. And I just wanted to say that because, you were talking about it's for everybody, whatever who listens, if you feel it.
And if you don't want it to be for you, it's not for you.
Yeah.
You could still listen. It's not for you though.
I'll put my 2 cents in too. This is that I've never had a tarot deck in my life until I got this. I've been around a lot of people. My sister used to read tarot around the Grateful Dead tarot deck.
There it is. Okay. That's what I was looking for.
And that's what I was going to say. This is the first deck I ever got. I've learned to really love it because I think for most of our listeners that are into the Grateful Dead, this is a great introduction to it. Or even if you have many decks, this is a great addition to them. And I want to encourage everybody to act quickly because they are 3/4 of the way through their limited edition box set, and there are no plans to reproduce the box set in the future.
Right. And so if you want this deck, like the box set is sick.
Yeah, it comes with a hardbound book. It's totally dope. And if you want it, go over to GratefulDeadTarot.com and check it out. You will not be disappointed.
No.
It is done with class and style, and
it's an elegant deck.
All the love and intention that you would expect from the Grateful Dead family was put into this thing.
And if you're a Deadhead, you're going to nerd out on it like we did because each of the cards it refers to a song or a lyric or something, and you have to kind of figure that out, and it's fun to do that.
I'll say this too before we get to it is that there's like sitting in front of me when we do the podcast, I have a few things that are important to me on the table. Like I have a little book that I keep notes in. We have our little stone bowl that we keep cough drops in because we're always coughing. And then I have a stone that I hold on to when I'm getting anxious during interviews. I have this stone that I hold on to on the table. And then my Grateful Dead tarot deck is also there. And I kind of think of like the table in front of me as an altar when I'm doing the show, and these are the magical implements that are on my altar is my computer and the board that we use, and then all the other stuff. And it wouldn't be complete if the Grateful Dead tarot deck wasn't on there too. I feel like it's lending its energy to the show, and so whenever you're listening to No Simple Road, that energy is always a part of what we're doing, and it's just amazing what these two women did together as far as putting this deck together and creating a tool that speaks so loudly to everybody, but specifically to us in the Grateful Dead family. It's really wild. I've never experienced anything like that before, and I've been working with tarot for 30 years. So
the other dope thing that you may have had the opportunity to meet them because they have traveled around the country, being on lot, doing readings.
Oh, yeah.
These two are awesome. You talk about somebody that created a dope product they stand behind, give you readings, and they're just fun to hang out with too.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm really, really stoked that this has become a end of the year tradition for No Simple Road, and I'm really, really excited for you all to hear our reading, the family's reading. So we are going to do the business, and we're going to get you to it. Go to nosimpleroad.com. You can get a tarot reading, by the way, from Mel and
from
I
that
with the
exact
Grateful Dead
deck
tarot
that we
deck.
were talking about.
Hey, look at that segue. You can also get Grateful Dead. You can also get No Simple Road merch with Jerry. It's on one of, I guess it would be Grateful Dead merch too, sort of in a way ish. And then
adjacent.
You can sign up for the newsletter there, and you can find out where we're going to be and all that fun stuff. And hey, if you're new to our Patreon, thank you for signing up.
Thank you.
You can sign up for our Patreon for free now. Patreon.com/No Simple Road.
Thank you to Megan.
Yeah. And you can also sign up for not for free. And for those of you that are doing that, thank you so much. You've helped get us through 2023 and into 2024. Woo. And we got all kinds of content up there. We got Andrew's picks and Connor's Grateful Dead picks. And we have...
I'm doing weed reviews, Apple's Cinematic Adventures.
I did the card of the day today, yeah.
Doing coffee stuff on there, and I do my own little picks every once in a while. So go over and check out what's going on Patreon for free. And then if you decide that it's worth it to you, that you feel like you want to spread some love into our lives monetarily, you can sign up patreon.com/No Simple Road.
Yeah, you can even join into the Cute Dollar Club.
That's right.
That's right.
Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do not have one. So, okay,
No December,
so you're
huh?
listening to this on the 29th. There are a couple days left. You could be the
Please,
person
somebody.
to leave a December review, which we will read on air, and we will be so thankful and smiley and happy.
Yep. So that is the whole Apple Podcast bit. And then you can call 971-808-1524. That's the tepid line. You got 3 minutes to say whatever the hell you want. Do it. Do it now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Or you can do like some callers and call back 3 times and leave 9 minutes.
That's right. Thank you, David. We love you, brother.
And John.
And then last but not least, tell somebody you love about the show.
Yeah.
Man. And
that's the best way to receive like good things to watch and listen to is from somebody you love. So love somebody and tell them about us.
So as we headed into wintertime in the solstice on the darkest night of the year, and now we have passed the solstice and we are returning to the light, we are excited to bring you the look ahead into 2024 for the No Simple Road family, brought to you by Erin and Liz of the Grateful Dead Tarot. And I'm super stoked for all of you to hear this.
Me too.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Erin and Liz of the Grateful Dead Tarot.
May the four winds blow you safely home, or all the way to do, or all the way to do.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Hey, how are ya?
What's up?
Hello, Liz.
What is
It's a
up?
better light quality.
Well,
Always
we've done this
here.
once or twice.
I really like the episode. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but it was about the imagination.
Oh,
Steven
Eisenstadt.
It was so fun.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
dope.
I feel like we could have a series with him. Like he's
I
just
bet.
so smart in so many different ways and so cool.
I'm gonna hit record.
Yeah, Erin's coming. She
Recording
I
in
just have to-
progress.
There she is.
had to find the link. Yeah.
Boop.
Erin. Aw. This is exciting
Here we
to see you
go.
two.
Again.
Yay!
Yay! The gang's all here.
Woo! Oh, you're muted.
Okay, I was saying I did it, but then
There
I was
we
like,
go.
I guess
You didn't do it.
You did something. Welcome, ladies. Seriously, it's so good to see y'all.
It's good to be back. Definitely.
What's been going on?
Yeah,
Tell
what's
us
going on
all
in
about you.
the Liz and Erin worlds?
We've just been working, just been at it, just really enjoying the aspect of teaching and doing readings with the deck has been really rewarding lately. Our
Aw.
classes have been really fantastic. Just great students with great questions and like noticing patterns in the cards that we didn't even notice or think about. And they're like, why is this happening? We're like, we don't know. That's interesting. Bring that out.
Your guess is as good as mine.
The answer to that question is
Like,
always,
like there are just it's like this unfolding thing.
yeah, the answer to that question is always, it's magic. In the world we live in today, anything that can help you get an edge in your mental game, in your spiritual game, and your physical game is a game changer. And our sponsor, Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates, has all those bases covered and more because, you know about microdosing. I don't got to tell you about all the benefits of it. You guys know what's up, right? It works. It's pretty much as simple as that, man. They have 4 grams of their sacred mushroom blend.
In 9 different flavors of chocolates. And if you don't like any of those flavors or you're just not down with chocolate, they have capsules.
Yeah, no more like waiting in weird parking lots and all that kind of stuff. You just go on Instagram, follow @meltmushrooms, shoot them a DM, tell them No Simple Road sent you. They're going to send you their menu and you are going to buy one, get one free for the month of December. So hit up Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates and melt away all the cares of the weird, topsy-turvy world we're living in right now. And now we get back to our episode.
Yeah. I mean, I think that for ourselves, we've tried to, come at the classes by offering a little bit something different. When we started out, we did these very extensive, 12 weeks for the major, whatever. And, it's like for our own selves, like to not get bored or to, have a different offering. The series that we just did, which was like 1 2-hour class per month. And you could do 1 or you could do all 3 or whatever. And we broke it down into like the pips and kind of like the story of the major arcana, but very, very truncated and very focused on like the structure instead of card by card.
Okay.
It was really interesting to do it that way. And then the court cards, because instead of really exploring like each card, we were really like unlocking the keys to how tarot functions. And it's like when you do that, you start like learning things in your own class. It's kind of wild.
That's so cool.
Okay, so what's something that you learned in your own class that you previously either didn't know or like something got cleared up? Or
Wait.
What?
We screwed up. We're here with Erin and Liz,
Oh yeah.
the creators of the Grateful Dead Tarot deck, members of the No Simple Road family, and beautiful, wonderful human beings. There.
Yay.
Okay, now you can ask.
Well, I was just because you were saying you learned something, and I know what you mean. Like, especially when you work with any deck, the more you read it, the more relationship you establish with it. But what did you, if anything, like learn from maybe your students or just touching them more, being around them more?
Not the students, the cards.
For me, in the majors class, we teach something that I was taught or I learned through a vintage tarot book from like the 1930s that I bought. I don't even know how long ago. And it's really, the book itself only deals with the major arcana. It doesn't deal with the minors at all. and it lays out something that's like the 3x7. So you take the fool or our storyteller out of the equation. And then what you have is 21 cards that go across in a row of 7, which are like the pre-personal building blocks. Then you go to the personal kind of hero's journey, the next 7. And then the last 7 are kind of like spirit. Like, okay, now that you learned the things and you did the journey, what more is there to life? And so then you go into like consciousness and spirituality. But when you lay them out in the rows of 7, you also end up with columns, right? You've got 3 rows by 7 columns, and the columns actually align so that you're kind of circling back, right? You're kind of repeating, and so while we were teaching that, I started having, and I haven't fully fleshed out the concept yet, but I started realizing that those columns can be applied to the elements as well. And then just like a different way of looking at the columns. And I'm kind of working on that theory now, like which column is fire, which column is earth, which column is water. But then there's 7. And then it's like, I think the 5th one is like spirit. And then it's kind of like, what did you learn? What do you do with it? Kind of thing. I'm still working on the theory, and it's fun. I like puzzles.
So the holidays are over, and everybody has been cooking and cleaning and doing all those things at home. So it's time to go out and have some fun get some good grub from the Grateful Dead family.
That's true. Let's do that.
Head on over to Fire on the Mountain.
What? Fire on the Mountain?
They are known for their chicken wings, but they have many other good things. Sandwiches, vegan options, awesome salads, and don't forget to leave room for dessert or you will be disappointed.
3 locations here in Portland, 2 locations in Denver, a brand spanking, sparkling, fresh new location in Bend for those of you over in Bend. And hey, if you're not in one of those locations, you go to portlandwings.com, hook yourself up with some of their sauces, get yourself some of their swag. You can have a whole Fire on the Mountain party at your house through their website. You order the sauce, you get the swag, and then you wear the swag and you cook the sauce, wings, stuff, and then you put on Fire on the Mountain like 5877 or something, and you dance around while you're eating the chicken wings wearing the stuff. It's a whole thing.
And then don't forget about Fire on the Mountain Brewing, because they just announced a new Hoosier bourbon aged amber for your delightful enjoyment to go with your chicken wings.
All right, there it is, Fire on the Mountain, baby.
That's amazing.
That's a hell of a puzzle. Well, the tarot, I mean, is like this, like Russian nesting doll.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you think you're getting to know it, and then there's 8,000 other levels below that you never even knew were even there, and it just keeps unfolding. And I think that's why like people that work with the tarot say that it's a relationship with the deck. For that reason, it's like knowing somebody. You never fully know them. It's an unfolding that happens over time, and that's dope. That anytime you get the opportunity to teach something, I think that it offers new insight into whatever that thing is, and then also, I mean, your students are giving you perspectives and viewpoints that you've never thought of, right?
Yeah, this fall was fun. We had a great group of students. It was a little in flux, so not every 2-hour class had the exact same people. There was like a person dropped out or a person added here or there, but there was a bit of a core, and they were definitely our most talkative group, I feel like. And we enjoy that because it, questions makes your brain, otherwise you're just in conversation with yourself, right? Growing up, I grew up with a family of psychologists, and, going to therapy was kind of like going to the doctor in my family. So it wasn't anything weird, but it was always singular therapy, right? Through my teens, through my 20s, and in my early 30s, when I moved to Brooklyn, I felt like I needed some support, bad breakup, whatever. And I found a women's group and did group therapy. And honestly, it was like a whole different modality of healing that I really felt like I got so much out of, because you're not just in conversation with yourself. There's other people being like, why is your voice raising? Why are you crossing your arms when you talk about it? Like that kind of thing. And so I like when when the people taking our classes interact, because it makes your brain think in other.
That's so true.
Well,
and
then
that's
you also know that they're paying attention and like learning when they're asking questions.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
If they're quiet, it's like, okay, nobody. Yeah.
So Liz, what about you? What have you learned from this last set of classes that you taught?
I think the thing I've been learning the most wasn't necessarily from the classes, but from the readings. And it's always surprising the way cards will connect in these unexpected ways. It's like I'll pull something, here and then something there. And then just to see the way some of the symbolism will like mirror each other, or to see like how, the figure here looks like it's now become the horse rider over here. And like those sorts of relationships that when you just look at a card individually and then look at another card, you don't see them, but then when you're looking at them at a deeper level as being in relationship, it's like that relationship opens up, between the cards themselves. And it's pretty fascinating, because they're unrelated, right?
Yeah. And being the creators of the deck itself, you guys created the symbolism that's on these cards. So I would think that it's doubly, it makes an even stronger impression when you notice something like that, because on our end, we have the option to think, well, maybe they planned that, you know what I mean? And that you didn't. And then you see those connections, and that's magic happening.
Right. Well, the thing about the Grateful Dead tarot deck from my perspective, and I can only imagine from Liz's, because it was really important to us that we didn't try to like rewrite the book, like literally, that if someone knew nothing about the Grateful Dead or didn't have a strong connection, but knew tarot or didn't know anything about either of the things, that they would be able to connect with what is a extremely ancient, long-term philosophy through these cards, right? And so I didn't actually make up all the symbolism, though I did choose perhaps because we were adding in elements of the Grateful Dead characters or songs and catalogs and archetypes, some things to maybe leave out or extra things to add in from the dead or whatever. There's a lot of historic symbolism that you will find, especially, the Rider-Waite is the modern touchstone for at least the 1 through 10s, because they were never illustrated, the 1 through 10s, prior to Pamela Coleman Smith being hired by Edward Waite and the Rider Publication Company. But, so there is a lot of familiar symbolism that that is just what it is,
Yeah. So the last time that we spoke, there was, you guys were going to stop selling the deck, if I remember correctly. Is that right?
It's limited edition. So once the stock that we already have produced is gone, there won't be another box set like this version. We're not going to be making another like big box set with a hardcover book and like a custom box. So this has become kind of this is it. This is it for Dead.
I feel so, I'm so happy I have one.
I know.
I'm so happy we have 3.
Yeah, right.
I did buy one for my mom too.
Aww.
She, what's so funny is she's not into the tarot, as in she's not reading, but she saw my book, my deck, and fell in love with it. She's like, I've never seen such beautiful artistry in tarot. She's like the bears and like just everything that she saw. She was like, I want one, order me one. And I was like, okay. So I went through and ordered it, and she loves the deck, but doesn't necessarily use it like that. And I think, sometimes a gift like that, it takes a minute. It takes a minute for you to figure out how to use it, when to pull it out, and all of that stuff. So it's just kind of neat that that's what caught her eye, like that visual aspect of it, because she's always been a little bit weary of it. And I just always like, come on in. I don't care what. Let me see that death card, whatever. But she's like, like arm's length. But with this deck, she just like
she was
totally
cute
was
about
all
it.
about it. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you both know, but like, Erin, was it you that hit me up about doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Because I hit you up about, maybe spreading some word about I got a friend somewhere.
Yep.
Which is a great. Do you mind if I give a little plug?
Please do it.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay. So for everybody out there, if you don't know Ashley, there's a woman within our community that, God, like 2016, maybe earlier, started to write a newsletter to incarcerated deadheads. There's a lot of fellow fans that are gotten in trouble for nonviolent crimes, for drugs, maybe drug addiction, maybe sales. But she decided to reach out to that community. And at this point, she's up to over 1,400 people that she supports with a monthly newsletter outreach. And she's got a Patreon, and you can do one-time donations, and it's I Got a Friend Somewhere. And I'm going to be pitching them to the Rex Foundation. And, we're going to see if we can, it's a completely nonprofit. It's registered with the government as a nonprofit. All the money goes towards supporting fellow fans and then also their children who are on the outside. She helps get Christmas gifts and, keep them connected with their kids. So it's a great organization.
That's super cool.
So it's I've Got a Friend Somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a friend somewhere.
Like super grassroots, like from the Watts, like true blue, meaningful work for our community, from our community.
That's dope.
She's a tie-dye artist. She's out there vending as well. She's a mom. This is just something she. It's not like her husband is in jail. Her husband's at home with her and the kids. It's just something she saw a need and decided to take on. And it's pretty incredible when people give back like that,
Yeah. So if people that are listening want to go, they can go to patreon.com and just hit search I've Got a Friend Somewhere, and it'll bring up her page. And like she just said, you can give a one-time donation. You can also pledge to be, a consistent donator to that thing. And just imagine, man, if you were the one sitting in a cage somewhere and that lifeline came from the lot to you, it would be huge. So
yeah, and we're talking like Patreon monthly subscriptions, I think start at $2. I mean, we're talking like a cup of coffee, and that $2 can be one more person's postage, printing. She really does an excellent job. It's probably like 5 pages, both sides printed.
Wow.
That goes, so it's a good thing. So thank you guys for allowing me to talk.
What was her
about
name
it.
again? Your friend's name again?
Her name is Ashley Bone.
So
and
no, yeah, she was it you that shared the graphics with me from that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can, I'll post it in our story and on our page as well, and you can get the info there. So, but yeah, when you had hit me up about this, it just goes to show that you don't ever know, because I think it was either that morning or the night before, Mel was like, we should hit the ladies up and see if they want to do another tarot reading for the year for No Simple Road.
We were talking about it because I said we should reach out to Kate and Mary and Erin and Liz. Kate and Mary are my astrologer ex-boss and her mom, and they do an astrology podcast, and they do feng shui and all the esoteric things. And they have done a reading for us years ago. And it was, I think about that
It was scary.
all the time.
Scary.
And then when you all did the readings for us, it was just like amazing. And I have the notes, and we're in December, and it was the night of bears. Help on the way for December. That was our pull. So that's where we're at right now.
Jesus, let's hope so, man.
Right? Tell me about it.
Come on, the Bears.
And another like thing about having done this reading last year, several times during the wheel of the year, Apple would bring up like some stuff would be going on with the show or whatever, and he would be like, "This is exactly that card that was called for this month. Look."
And then Erin would be like, "No, was it?" And then Mel would grab her book and be like, "Yep, holy shit."
Wow.
Yeah, because we had a couple repeats too.
Yeah.
So it was like the longer message.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yes. And right, because we all three of us and you two ladies have your own deck. So I was like saying that's with the chances of picking the same card over 5 decks. That's pretty slim. And we did it anyway, multiple times.
Yeah, 3. What was it?
Well, it was the 8 of Roses.
8 of Roses.
Okay.
How do you do that?
8 of Roses.
How do you know that?
And then
I don't, because I was thinking about it and I was remembering that this was a year of shadow work.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, and like that was definitely true for me. I was like kind of wallowing in something, some mud and some muck. And I can definitely feel the shift, like from that 8. It's like I was mired in those brambles and not kind of hanging out in the murky water too, in a way. And it was like I needed to find that path of clarity to like kind of get me through there. And I do feel a little bit more resonant with the Night of Bears. You know, it's felt like, you know, an energy building, and it's like, okay, we're not quite there yet, but we're starting to move toward like
it feels
something.
like we're en route.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know, ever since COVID, I don't know if you all have had this experience, but like writing the year seems strange to me. Every time I write the year, it seems like it's not right. Like I'm like, wait, what?
We skipped something.
But it can't be that. Like it feels anachronistic almost. And today, doing this, I wrote 2024, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This is for 2024. Like, boom. So I agree with what you just said. Like it feels like there's some shift happening out of that stuck.
I know I feel that personally. That was January started. There was so much going on.
Wow, we had an upheaval.
And from
last year,
from like January to where we're at now, it absolutely feels like help is on the way. It feels more less fried and ends out and more kind of braided and seamed together, you know? I don't know what's seamed together. I don't know that it's shown us yet, but we've definitely had so much happen, and it feels like it's kind of that full circle, you know, it's come full circle.
I mean, it'll be
that night because he's the figure of doing the work, like being disciplined, showing up each day to like be the one that does the work to take the mission further. And I feel like we are all being asked to step up in a certain way too. Like,
Liz.
you know, if we want change, we've got to be the ones, you know, we've got to be the ones.
That's for sure. So how do you want to do this, ladies?
Well, who wants to start? I think is the question, right? Who started last year? Do you know?
Started last year.
Okay.
So maybe you should start since you started the show. Why don't you start for this year?
Okay.
We're going alphabetical. A, Ron.
Yeah, there we go.
then I'm first every time. You can't beat me.
Do we do like a We're the Planeteers thing and I'll like hold our decks up?
Yes.
Yeah.
With our powers combined.
What is it? The Megazord from I forget the name of the show. So stupid.
Whatever.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Whatever, nerd.
Power Rangers.
Total
there you
nerd.
go.
All right, here we go.
The Tarot Rangers.
Yeah. Welcome to the
There
Tarot
is a
Rangers.
spin-off and a half in that.
Can you put that
We
right
can all
there?
show up in leotards.
Tarot Rangers. Only if mine can be sequenced.
And it's got to be shiny.
I want like a Mickey Mouse hat, but instead of the ears, we have like the bolts coming off.
Yes.
Like the Pikachu. He's got those little kind
Yeah.
Okay, so if Fish announces Halloween in Vegas, we should all go
Oh
as
my
the Terror
gosh.
Rangers.
Oh my God.
I would do that. I would do
I'd
that.
do it too.
I would do it.
We would coordinate. I'd call you ladies and we'd coordinate.
Be pretty fun. We could do it.
Hey Mel, do you want to ground us before I pull?
I don't know. I don't know about Vegas twice in 1 year. That's going to be a lot if they do that.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. So shall we do like maybe we'll do 3 breaths in through the nose, out through whatever orifice you feel necessary.
Okay.
All right.
Breathe through all your
Right.
organs.
Say that
Eyes
to Apple.
closed. Get quiet for a moment. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And release your own way. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. And last, nice inhale. Pause at the top. And slowly exhale.
Oh, he's asleep.
You got to ruin the vibe. That's the whole reason why we did that, babe.
Yeah.
Was
Make
to
it-
get rid of that.
I have to.
Make it all giggly now.
It can be giggly. Giggly is good.
Giggly's not bad. Yeah.
See? Queen of
So
And she
Hearts.
said it's not bad. She didn't say
So
it's good.
Are we pulling a master card for the year and then going into the?
Oh.
We should. We didn't do that last year.
No,
we should
we did
absolutely
not.
do that.
Oh, we didn't.
No.
Okay, we should.
All right, I'll start over
I like-
then.
Well, I think then you should do the MasterCard, Liz.
It was your idea.
I think it'd be great for you to
Right.
do the MasterCard.
For me or for Erin?
Oh, well,
was
I said
Erin's idea.
Liz, but you're right. It was Erin. Let's
Erin.
do Erin.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I like it. Oh,
It feels like a lot of pressure, people. Okay, I'm gonna.
You deal great with pressure.
Drum roll, please.
Oh, I love this. Coming in after the Night of Bears, our master card is the Journey.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That gave me shivers.
Yeah, Jackaroo, people,
Wow.
get in your cart and control those horses.
Whoa.
That is so aligned too with like Pluto's transition into Aquarius, and all planets are going direct at the end of January. After Uranus goes direct, it's going to be like full steam ahead in mid to end late January for sure.
So for those listening, the keywords that are in the book for the journey are willpower, victory, and action. And so it's Jackaroo, and Jack rides into battle atop a chariot adorned with stars and planets, revealing the activity of the universe in motion. She is drawn by 2 horses, one black, one white, showing the nature of duality and the harnessing of polarity to create action. The journey reveals the need to control desire through the channeling of the will. Oh, wow. Holy shit.
Yes, the key to this card is that though those horses look like they are out of control, the figure has the rein in her hands. You always have the rein in your hands, and the cart has a canopy over the top of it, and it is the universe, the presence of the universe over us in constant protection.
Wow.
To remember that we have everything we need just within ourselves when we are ready to move forward. We
Wow.
just need to acknowledge it.
Well, I would say that's a great MasterCard for the year ahead.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
also a reminder to everybody listening, this is not just our reading, this is your reading too.
Mm-hmm.
This is for you as well. So
If you're listening.
yeah, you're here.
It's your reading too.
It's your reading. That's exactly what I was thinking.
The journey really suggests movement and a readiness to to make things shift, you know, to step into more alignment with how we're using our energy, and to very intentionally, you know, create from a place of awareness and clarity rather than just being passively thrown around in the universe.
It's funny that's that, because I think over the last 2 years, that's kind of been the thing with us. You know, when we first started like taking No Simple Road out and going and doing festivals and stuff like that, like we were yesing everything. And by the end of that first summer of doing that, we were all burnt the hell out. Like I was on the verge of a breakdown. Like we were
blaming Erin for everything.
It was all my fault.
What the hell? Yes again? What? Like,
yeah.
It's too much.
Why?
Exactly. Why?
Why would
we're
you do
building
that?
something. We need to say yes.
And he'd be like, who are we to say
Okay,
no?
I just want to go back to something you said earlier, Liz. You said, if we want to change, we have to be the one to make the change. And that feels very Journey, like what you were just saying about needing the movement and like stepping into our alignment and like going forward and action oriented, you know, that acknowledgement.
But you do need to sometimes be willing to do the hard things, Erin. I have your back, you know. Sometimes you need to give up, like Jacaro, the material comforts, the wealthy family, the house, the clothes, and everything, and literally be willing to go into battle after the things that you love, not to necessarily fight, but to preserve and save and rescue those things. Life is not easy, and sometimes the choices are hard, and sometimes we give up comfort in order to gain the thing that we most desire.
Yeah.
And it's scary, you know, I'm sure that was extremely frightening to get on a ship with big, gross, smelly men in the, like, you know, 1300s or whatever.
Yeah.
And like go to war to try to carry a man off of the battlefield, you know, her love. So these are, you know, that's the lesson of the journey.
Yeah. And I over the last couple of years, I've been much more careful about our scheduling and what we do. And that was something that I was actually thinking about a couple of weeks ago, is like, okay, the new year's coming. What's one of the things that I want to do? And it's to be more pointed with that stuff even more, so that we all have enough in the tank to do the jobs that we need to do. And so that's very, very poignant to have that there.
Yeah, it's interesting because the card that comes before the journey in the tarot is the Lovers. And that's where it's like, what are you choosing? Because if you choose this, you can't have that. You know, if we choose Charisse, we can't have Ruby Claire, right? And it's, you know, are we really going to choose the path that is the most aligned for us? Or are we going to continue to kind of choose something that's, you know, maybe tempting but not really going to bring us to fulfillment? And so that leads to then the journey of like, I now know what I want. You know, Jacaro knows she wants her beloved sailor, and she's willing to leave everything else behind to go on that mission.
Well,
what world are we creating? That's kind of the question that comes up for me with this, the journey card, you know, and are we ready to take action to create it? It's the time.
All right. So I pulled for January, and I pulled
Three of bolts.
The Three of Bolts.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Moving forward, expansion and exploration.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, it's about, you know, commanding your intention at that point.
It goes
right?
very well with the first one.
I mean, you've now made the decision to do the thing, foregoing the comfort and
proclaiming it.
And now you're using your intention and your will to drive that thing forward.
This is the first step of the creation of your journey. And the thing when this card comes up, you know, we do the one card polls at the festivals and, you know, for fun, for free, for community. And a one card poll is just very specific. There's no other cards influencing. And so, you know, a little bit we'll treat each month as a one card poll. And one of the things I always say is this card is here to tell you that in order to, the bolts are the fire suit, that is the element of manifestation, creation. And when you get to the 3, it's the very first active number. And the figure on the card is literally like a profile opening its mouth, and 3 bolts are coming out into its environment. And what the universe wants you to do in January is, if you're not ready to put your foot on the path, you need to start talking about your dreams. You need to start talking about your intention. We make things real in our lives when we engage them into our environment by sharing our desires, dreams, and hopes. Business plans would be a perfect example. Like, start speaking what it is you want to have happen this year.
I think it's really cool that the card is 3 ships.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Embarking on their journey, and you're on your way. The world is your oyster. Like those, when a ship embarks on a journey, it's got the entire ocean in front of it. It's not in the harbor anymore. They're going out. You know what I mean? They may have a plan and a path that they want to go on, but the entire ocean is there to be sailed on.
Yeah, there's tons of trust in that, and tons of like, and that's what this card says. It's like you might feel like you're going on faith right now, but if you believe in what you're creating and you diligently, communicate and express and share that and build your networks, like you'll get there. You'll create the foundation that you need for building.
Wow.
Yeah.
Senor.
It's hard for manifesting, like starting manifestation, getting that seed out there.
Yeah. It with us and this, it's been this continual kind of like the tarot unfolding of what the thing actually is. You know what I mean? It's over and over again. It becomes something else and something else and something else and bigger, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I feel like often like I'm more in service to the deck, you know what I mean, itself, than like, it's not here. It's here for me too, but it's not like, it's a product I'm selling. It's like, what can I do for you today?
What we got, Apple, for February?
We got the Terrapin of bolts.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow, so it's fire energy. All 3 of these cards got big movement and action.
Terrapin of bolts. So we have momentum, activation, and possibility.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay. So Terrapin is ignited by a bolt of creativity that is bursting with life. Positive change is coming around. Luck is on your side. It's time to trust the journey. Follow your impulses. Think outside the box. Don't be afraid of change. Take a leap of faith. Opportunities for expansion and self-discovery are here. Reach for the stars. Damn.
This is the other one, right?
Yes, when the bus comes by, get on.
It's coming around.
The call to adventure, the call to awaken.
Wow. I love that the whole beginning of the year so far is bolts. Like it's that
Well, it makes sense, like with all the cleaning and getting things in order this year, cleaning out house, doing the things we've done. This is awesome.
It's good to note too, like, we're going in tomorrow with a new moon. Like, we're going into a pretty introspective period of time for a little while with Mercury retrograde and like a couple other things. And this suggests to me, that feeling of like gearing up and building energy before the like launch, something, it feels to me so far with these 3 cards that something's ready to shift. We're really, ready to light that fire and to harness that fire. It's just time, we want to build it slowly. We want to build it stably. So,
I mean, I kind of love that like the 3 became before the 1, because like I said, you want to start talking about your manifestation. And then it's like the very next month, it's like, okay, hopefully you did your planning. You started talking about it. You put your feelers out. And now here's the first step of the journey. Now we're at number one with all the potentiality for what you want to manifest.
So check out the card that I pulled. Another number one, the musician.
Nice.
So this is March. This is March. Yeah, the musician. For everybody out there, the musician is playing a violin and he's standing kind of like maybe like at a waterfront, riverfront, with the symbol infinity on over his head. And I mean, I can't think of a better.
This is Uncle John's band.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, this is another manifestation card.
Yeah.
Like literally. And this is like,
it's kind of the manifestation.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. This is like the highest manifestation. This is manifestations in the ethereal.
Shaper of world, singer of songs. I like that. Shaper of world, singer of songs.
He's got all the elements there at his disposal, right? So it's like, throwing a little earth out and a little water and a little fire and mixing it all up. He's like the divine DJ,
Oh, wow. Yes.
Ready to create some beats for our universe here. So,
and that bolt of manifestation has moved out of the Terrapin's hand and is securely in the sun that is illuminating this path forward.
Whoa.
Right? It is thing that you are creating is lighting your whole world, and you are ready and you're bringing in everything, and it's a full body, full court press in March.
Wow. There's a lot of intent. Everything so far has been about intention
and manifestation.
Yeah. Work and figure what do you want and do the work.
Well, and if you think about how our year usually goes, March is right before everything starts to pop
right
off.
Around the time when it kicks
everything's
off,
getting ready to go. And
we're getting things planned. We've got things on deck, build up to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
April's going to be something round.
I like how it says here, the musician signifies beginnings, so ensure that integrity is built into the foundation. I love that.
That's the key, right? Because, if you're trying to create from ego, from a place of either not understood, not processed, like shadow. So if that stuff is guiding you, right? Like your fear and things like that. Or if you're creating from a place of wanting glory, and there's nothing wrong with personal gain and personal benefit, but ultimately we want to be serving the greater good, right? Gaining while hurting others and harming others isn't really aligned with the nature of the universe, which is they just love, So it's moving from that place of as above, so below, I am one with the whole, creating with that energy rather than, I'm trying to come out on top of this pyramid scheme is a much different thing.
Yes.
I think a better way to frame it, at least in my head, is there is no pyramid. I just want to do the thing that I'm supposed to do completely. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean by that? Whatever my corner of that tapestry that is the universe is, I want it to be as colorful and full and vibrant and dope and fun as it can possibly be. And the only way that I can do that is if I don't doubt myself. Don't doubt me.
Don't doubt me.
Don't
doubt me. He's a genuine.
No, it's so true. I mean, there's no one in the universe that can do you like you.
That's true. Yeah. And I can honestly say nobody can be me.
What month are we on? Is that April?
On April.
We're getting to April.
Yep.
So we have another Bears card.
Ooh.
We have the 3 of Bears.
Oh my God. Stop it. I've been thinking about this, and look at the bears on the musician and look at the bears on the
Yes. We were talking, you said that earlier about the bigger part of the single draw, you couldn't see that. But now we're building the template, and now here they are.
Yeah.
That's insane. So we got a little earth.
So now we're grounding that visionary perspective of the magician. We're now grounding it into actual earth. We've been speaking our intentions, and now we're creating them.
So this is masterpiece.
They're in the ground.
This
They're not
was
just
in our reading last time. Masterpiece. I remember this was in our reading last time for let me just pull it up real quick.
Yeah, the keywords for everybody for this card is planning, dreaming, and learning.
Look at that.
Kind of fits perfectly with April and the time of the year. Like that's wild that those three little bears just got painted.
Well, I
Right.
love that the bolt like went into the turtle's hand, then went into the sun, and the bears are like in the sun, and then they walk on to the next card. It's like
They just walk on. Cue the
Walk
cue.
on.
Bears. Go.
Wow.
Masterpiece. Where?
Mm.
Oh, October. It was for October masterpiece.
Right.
Interesting. You know what happened for me in October is we settled into our new house.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you. It's very, very threes of bearsies though. Like the contract had been in deal for a while, but we were able to actually move in and get settled. And we took the back burner to some shows to be able to make it happen, but it was great. So that's
Where are you?
that's cool. Blue Hill, Maine.
Oh,
I live on the coast, near
That
Kate,
sounds
not too far
fun.
from Acadia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
you
want,
can come up
I wanna see.
anytime.
Yeah, coming to Maine. That
Oh,
would
it's
be
me, huh?
No,
we'll have
that's
a
it was
Blue Hill
Liz.
Road retreat.
Yeah, right. Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we can.
all right,
Erin's
back-
got it. And Martin and her family have to come up too at some point. So
Yeah, life moves fast. I like literally can't seem to get on top of my horse here, but it's fine.
Right.
Erin, I'm
It's like
feeling
a
those
torn-
vibes for sure. I'm feeling those.
Tornado constant.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna pull May. It's having a hard time. The deck is not liking any of the cards that I pulled. Ooh. Wow, lots of threes, which are all action. However, in May, we might want to beware that we've got the Three of Skulls here, and this is Birdsong.
Okay.
And this is unfortunately a card of triangulation within communication and can signify betrayal. So basically, the thing that you've been working so hard the beginning part of the year in May, it's just a time to step out of yourself, step out of the flow, and make sure that everybody else around you is aligned with what is going on.
Okay.
A regroup.
yeah,
And there's regroup there.
yeah, a bit of a cutting away of maybe what's in the way or of folks and people or beliefs that are actually impeding the process at that point.
Okay.
And
Well,
the thing with that three is it does tend to sting a little, right? It might be, a difficult, thing to say, hey, mom, I don't want to be in business with you anymore.
Okay.
Sorry, friend, you can't live here. It's just not working out. Some kind of severing of something that
makes
comes
sense.
with a cost.
That makes sense for May too, because we're 5 months in. Like this, we've done usually a festival. We've done some things, planned some things, and then they're like, "This ain't going right," or "We got to do this or that." It kind of makes sense for May to be that after the way the other 4 were.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it could have kept going up, Apple, for real.
It could have, but
But apparently it's not.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I like this card says you are no longer willing to compromise your truth to make others feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that has come up a lot for us with certain guests that have been on that maybe we've been able to talk, before we press record or a little bit after, and people feeling like because of our censored culture, this need to, and especially if you're an artist or a musician, you're singing what's inside, and a lot of people are feeling censored and not able to really get out fully what they want to share or what's happening with them, because it's not okay. A lot of people are not okay with hearing those types of things. And so I can see by the time May rolls around, it's you know what, it's enough. Enough's enough.
And also if you're manifesting, when you're manifesting, I should rather say, if you're expanding, there's going to be loss.
Yeah. Fallout.
What's up, everybody? If you're like me and you're trying to do better for yourself and what you eat in this new year, I have something really cool for you. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating better every day way easier. Wherever tomorrow takes you, be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. You're going to have over 35 different options a week to choose from, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons that help make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. What are you waiting for? Sign up and save. They've done all the math. Factor is less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. So here's what you got to do. Head to factormeals.com/NoSimpleRoad50 and use the code NoSimpleRoad50 to get 50% off your first box and 2 free wellness shots per box while subscription is active. That's code NoSimpleRoad50 at factormeals.com. Take all the guesswork out of trying to do the right thing for your body. Fuel up easy and fast. Go check out Factor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet it is still a card of movement because it is a 3, and 3 is the first active number. We don't consider 1 as an odd number. 1 is always the beginning. 0 is neutral. 1 is the beginning. And so the number 3 is actually the first activation number. So whether it's a difficult activation or a successful activation, it's still
An activation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's with that card, when I wrote it, the song this is one of the harder ones to place with a song. It just because it has such a sense of like betrayal and also loss. And there's, the sweeter, softer side of that is Birdsong, which is what I associated the card with originally, and we know Birdsong was written for Janice, right? She's that sweet bird that came, sang a little while and was lost way too soon, before her time. And the scene felt that, a lot of us still, we miss those musicians whose voices have become a part of our heart and a part of our soul. Yeah. But the other song that has since come up for this card is Me and My Uncle. He taught me all I know, so I left his dead ass there by the side of the road. It's that energy of like rowdy, they're very different quality dynamics of the song, but it's a little bit of an inversion of the same energy, involving loss and letting go, but to some degree also with that Me and My Uncle, it's like, I can be dirty too.
Could it also be the necessity of making sacrifice in order to achieve something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be. It's an awareness that something, it's a call to become aware that something is not working, because it's in the suit of skulls, which we say is the suit of intellect and human communication, that something may possibly be a someone, but it absolutely also could be a something that is just not working for what you need it to work right now, right? The word is really kind of like triangulation. Like 3 is a great number. It causes movement. It causes an arrow. It creates a pyramid. But it also like put 3, 5-year-olds in a room together, and one of them is going to be crying within an hour.
We have one 5-year-old upstairs right now. And so if there's 3 of them up there, it would be bad. All right, here we go.
There's 2
So
5-year-olds.
it's a month of some deciding is what it sounds like to me. That in May, is it May? Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I feel like
there's going to be some decisions and some cutting away and some of that recognition.
Erin, what were you about to say?
I said, I feel like it's interesting that it's the 5th month, because in numerology, 5 is the number of destabilization.
Well, let's continue that.
It is also my birthday month, the 5. I was born at 5:55 in the morning, and I'm going to be turning 55.
Oh my God, guys, it's Apple. Watch out.
Yeah, that's why I was just kind of giving a warning there.
So let's continue.
We still love you, Apple.
Right off the bow.
The theme of upheaval with the 4 winds.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Whoa.
Okay.
The tower.
Well, it's not the tower. It's the judgment card.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So
okay.
it's not destabilization, and that would be the mirror card, the dark card.
Okay. Yes.
Card, right. But this is Franklin's Tower, the next to last card of the High Arcana, which really asks us to basically bear it all. It's like, if you are truly ready to, be free, then show us that you have nothing left to hide. Like,
if you plant ice, you're going to harvest wind, right? Like what do you have left to unveil to yourself, to make atonement for before you move into, because it is the second to last card of the major arcana, the last one being Eyes of the World card, full illumination into consciousness, a real huge ending. This is that pause where you're like, am I ready to meet my maker? Who do I need to apologize to? Was what happened last month actually my responsibility?
Yeah, I think we're making up for, we're being, our karma's being cleared of whatever came up that month before, whatever maybe, was spoken against us, or whatever we were accused of that might have emerged via that Three of Skulls. Now it's kind of like, hey, like, here I am.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you got for, judge me, because this is me. I can't do any better. That's kind of,
I am where I'm at,
I am who I am. Yeah.
The 3 turned into the 4, and this is regeneration too, and reunification, right? This is coming back together, putting it back together after it fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our hero retrieving that fan, for the lady after she threw it in the lion's den. And he's gone on this whole journey to get there. And now he's found it. And now that child's in the tower ringing the bell, and all the illusion, those 4 winds, like, go to all the corners of the universe to dissolve the game, to dissolve the matrix and show us what's real. And our hero's left there back in the lion, back, by the fireside with the lady. And hey.
This card doesn't tell you that you planted ice. This card asks you, hey, take a look.
Yeah. Like, what did you harvest or plant? Yeah.
Self-assess. Maybe you're good. Maybe you're ready to go through that portal into the next realm,
So that this is a trip what I just pulled, because now
we're in July, right?
We're 6 months. So this is July. And with that one, the rejuvenation, all this stuff, I just pulled the 3 of bolts. Oh, so we got the read done. Now we're setting out again.
All right.
Whoa.
Cool.
So there's a hiccup. I got it.
I feel like it was like January, September last time, the repeat or something, right? I was going to say, oh my God, are we on the same repeat schedule as last year?
No, the repeats last year were August and September.
Okay.
That was the 8 of Roses for both months.
Right.
But the 3 of Bolts, I feel like was one, we got that in November. And the 3 of Bolts is the card that I pick all the time. It's my personal card. It's something about me having to speak what I need to speak. And a lot of times I don't necessarily do that. And so it's like that card for me is always a reminder.
Yeah.
So
you're also like one of 3 bolts in your podcast here.
Yeah.
It's interesting because to me, after that, what we experienced with the 3 of Skulls, and then sort of, bearing it all and whatever got exposed, dealing with that karma, now coming back to where we were and kind of stepping into even better alignment this time. It's like we had to, there was a little trial and error or something we had to kind of work through.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm actually cool with that.
Yeah.
Like that's how you figure out how things work and grow. And some of the
those skull cards are about learning. They're the minds. They're how we process information, right? And so we've processed something that wasn't available to us earlier in the year that is now bringing us back to, checking our alignment with the journey that we're on this year.
And going back to the concrete, like if you're really trying to manifest, and this is probably on my mind because I am trying to manifest a whole new business. And it's like a business plan is a living document. Like a business plan is not one and done. Your financial projections are not one and done. And so you got to come up in some May. You had to assess, you had to see what was going on. You had to ask yourself, okay, was this me? What was my part in this? Okay, do I need to replan the plan? And do I need to, adjust my steps now, after those last 2 months?
Okay, well, after these last 2 months, we're going to go back to the beginning again and go to the storyteller, because that's the fool now. So we're in August now, and we're back
off the cliff.
Yeah, going off the cliff again.
It's just to be like a pause, a reminder that, hey, as you go on this journey, keep checking in with your highest self. Keep, remember this is about play. Remember we're here to, express our divinity, not to just like get into the grindiness, because the cards leading up to this, it is a big year. It sounds like for movement and some change and some action, but all of that can be, exhausting, and all of that, it can be a lot. And this is a reminder to take it light. Maybe that's where we went wrong in the couple months before. We started getting too heavy, too serious with it all. Once we came into that three of bears, after that we just started getting more.
That was weird. That was July.
That was August. You were July, yeah. This
July.
was August.
That was August. The storyteller.
Storyteller holds a lot of potential. The storyteller is neutral, right? The storyteller is, there may be a little bit of waiting now that you've readjusted your path. You may just be in a little bit of the replanning stage, the recalibration stage. And it's, again, a really great time to kind of look around and make sure that when you go over that cliff, you're going over that cliff with your eyes open and with intention, that you are jumping off the cliff rather than falling off the cliff.
Yeah.
Okay. It's crazy because he's got his instrument, and so does a musician. Right. And the storytellers at the top and the musicians at the bottom.
Yeah.
Just interesting. I always think of the storyteller as the Robert Hunter card, and I think of the musician as the Jerry Garcia card. So
right on. We got them both covered.
The storyteller makes no choice.
It's gonna be one hell of a 2024.
Yeah, it's on.
Are we in August?
Yeah. No, we're in September, and you're up.
Liz, you.
I love it. The star card, the fountain.
Wow.
A lot of high energy.
Ripple. Yeah. So we're really aligned now. This really is that, like, there is only one light that I can follow. Everything else has sort of stopped being a priority. It's stopped taking up space in my mind and my field of awareness. And I am focused on that. And that's where I'm going. And so all that intention that we had created and all that energy that we've been generating early on with these threes and these fire cards, we're now like really seeing the energy of that start to form into something that, truly represents our intention and what we wanted to create.
And a little bit like that, like the water aspect too. We started with that fire, and now we're in that water. So lots of action, but now maybe a lot more introspection and like figuring out, like just being with us.
The song here, Ripple, right? And she plays an instrument that only she can hear. And the symbology on the card, there's only one other card, which is the Temperance card, which is the Box of Rain card, in which the figure has a foot on the land and a foot in the water. And the water is always emotion, and the land symbolizes stability and path. And she is to follow that Milky Way of stars above her, no matter what. This is the card, kind of aligns with the journey where it's like, you get to choose, right? Like you were saying, like you have people on the podcast and it's like, can I say this? Can I not say that? Who's censoring me? What's going on? This is the card where, you hit that bit of hard time. You came into the judgment card, into the Four Winds card, assessed whether you were part of it or not. You recalibrated your plan. You took space to pause. And now you're like, screw it. This is about me. This is about my life, and I'm going to move forward no matter what to the harp on strum that I hear,
And
that I listen to.
The really poignant part of this too is that's the name of the show comes from Ripple,
Yeah.
and this card. So this is this thing finding itself again.
And one thing that I've noticed throughout this is just really like personal growth through all these cards is about finding out what is really going on, what's your inspiration or your reasoning, and like if people don't like it, so what? You've got to still be true to yourself. I really feel that theme here is being underscored over and over.
And what's really interesting is when I was talking about the 3 rows by 7 columns, she falls into the last row, but in the 3rd position. So again, we're at another 3.
Whoa.
That is really fascinating.
Okay.
And activating.
It's something too I've been really exploring a lot is those last 7 cards of the major arcana. Each one of them is its own test, because at that point you've lived life, you've gone through stuff. We're no longer learning the traditional way. We're now learning by taking these massive tests. And with this one, it's the soul test here is do you really trust yourself? Or are you still looking for validation from others, right? Are you still, looking for external authority to tell you what to do? Or are you truly even when nobody else hears that harp unstrung, do you trust its voice and will you follow it? And that's the test, that leads us home.
That is true.
On that no simple road.
And if I knew how to get there, I'd take you with me, but I figured it out.
But it's a pathless path that we all have to find on our own because you can't follow my path. I can't follow yours. It's what you were saying earlier, Erin. It's like you have to do you the best you can.
That's it.
Yeah. It's true. All right, I'm up.
Who's up?
October?
Yep, you're October.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Which is the best month, by the way.
Yes, it is, Liz. Yes, it is.
Ooh, and we hit an 8. And so this is Black-Throated Wind, and it is the 8 of Skulls.
Oopsie.
Now
Can we just skip?
Now, I find it very interesting and kind of enlightening. The card has a rose, which symbolizes your true heart's desire, and it is bound up by cloth. The cloth is not tied. The cloth is unraveling and yet blocking out the full moon, which is bringing illumination of your heart desires. You have all these little skulls in a spectrum of colors looking in all directions. And this is about the fact that you've really followed your own path now from that star card, from that ripple card. And yet maybe you're starting to hear some blowback. Maybe you're starting to either doubt yourself and your capabilities, or people are like, you can't walk that path. That's not okay. That's not an okay path to, and it's putting you in a very rough seas emotionally. And your task here is to let that rose bloom, get rid of those skulls, let that full moon come out and shine its light, and let that rose that your heart's desire, unravel, because you do have a right, no matter what anybody else says.
Wow. Again, another card about that, about this knowing the self. And like the very first thing you wrote on this, Liz, was personal growth is hard and often lonely journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that star card is a hard and lonely journey. Like, it feels like we're alone in the universe, and we have to trust. And that's the test, And so this card shows that we're maybe playing into it a little too much. Maybe we're I don't know. We're needing to remind ourselves of that Fool card, and remember, hey, we're actually free.
Well, yeah, and I think it speaks to, like it even says it here, is the victim mentality, blaming other people for your misfortune, and being afraid to own the words that come at you. It's like if somebody has something to say and you want to shrink from it, instead you have to own that shit and be like, no, this is me, man. Like,
well, when you do start to like own your story, your truth, and what you want to say, even in small ways, you're getting blowback or at least questioned, or at least like, are you sure? You know, like you do when you stand up to yourself and for yourself, you do have, there's action that needs to be taken, and you have to continue it. You can't just, it's not one and done type thing. There's like, sometimes if you're a person, you've got multiple lives in your life, you know, multiple people, so you're going to have to affirm that thing that you've affirmed more than one time.
Yeah. It's very interesting that this whole year reading has been very much about movement, about planning, about speaking your heart desire, about bringing manifestation in. And the 3 cards that were not actively about beginning path movement are cards that are look around. Who's telling you you can't? Are you part of that messaging?
Yeah.
You know,
it might be you. Yeah.
And you have a right to walk the path. You have a right to leave the rich father. You have a right to cut off all your hair and dress like a man. You have a right to go to battle after the things that you love. That's the overall card that we are looking at, right? The journey card.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where are we at? We're November. Who's pulling November?
That's you. You're right after Erin.
Okay.
Yeah, you pull November.
Erin and Erin.
Boom.
Yep.
It is the Page of Bolts.
Oh,
many bolts and skulls.
Yep.
Yeah. So that makes sense to me coming after the eight of skulls too, because you know this page feels a little bit bound. You know, she's a little bit like she wants to roam and she wants to explore, but she's held to the earth element that she's part of. She combines earth and fire, right? And so this fire wants to move and it wants to dance and it wants to be free, but the earth energy contains that. And it says, hey, like we need to be patient. We need to be here right now. And so this page can feel a sense of that, like restless impatience with the world that she's in. She wants to break free, and yet she has to kind of be where she is.
It's Ramble on Rose, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
I love
many things.
What you wrote. It says, be willing to try something new, take advantage of opportunities to expand your horizons, follow your inspiration, step out of your comfort zone, explore the world around you. Don't get boxed in. I think of the last card of that bound up rose getting boxed in. Get your ideas out of your head and into action. A new position, relationship, or opportunity is heading your way. March to the beat of your own drum and be curious about others. Be willing to experiment.
Yeah, I feel like we're really embodying the intention that we started at the beginning, right? It's like, you know, court cards are people, or they're the way that we embody the qualities of that energy. And so here now, instead of it being ideas and things that we're trying to make happen, now we've really we're living it. And so maybe some of that binding in the previous card is actually, you know, related back to that 3 of skulls. And it's some of the sacrifice we have to make, you know, the way that we have to kind of keep ourselves contained and disciplined. And we can't just like go to every show. We can't just, you know, do all the things we want to do. We to some degree have to say, you know, like, let's hold our energy in a little bit so that we can actually start to grow it a little bit more. Could relate a little bit.
Let's hold our energy in a little. I like that a lot. It's very relevant.
I think it really relates to the 3 of bears that we already pulled. If a court card was going to relate to paint my masterpiece, it's kind of like that, right? Because the 3 of bears is an activation within the earth element. And when you get to the pages, they are an earth element and she's the fire. Personality activating in the earth element. And so we're still staying with that work, stabilization, but activation when we hit her.
Apple.
Yeah.
All right. So we are at December. I have pulled the Knight of Roses.
Ooh.
Another
Our
night
first
to lead.
rose card.
Another night to
But
lead us out of the year.
It's our first rose card at this reading.
Yeah.
We're fire, knights are fire. So, oh my gosh, so much fire.
Yes.
Romance, free love, joy.
Oh,
This is for you personally, Apple.
Yay.
I hope so. Shit.
Your sugar magnolia is going to find you.
Yes, I like this. Oh, wow.
She's got a winged helmet, dude. So I don't know.
She's got crazy hair like me.
On the cards, look at the page of bears, look at Ramble on Rose, and then look at, Sugar Magnolia.
She cut
There are
loose.
two skeleton figures with long red hair.
Yes.
I don't even know if there's any other skeleton figures with long red hair in the entire. Like, she's now found what she wants to do. She's found what she loves.
Aww.
For it.
And we're more free to live in our heart. Now that rose can bloom. She's used her knife, her sword there to cut away the binding,
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she did.
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
So, I mean, looking.
It's the heart that does that, right? Like, that's the beauty of it. We've now come into our heart and we haven't been there all year, which is interesting to think.
Like,
That's very
from
interesting.
out here to here to here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So up in the air to your head to your heart. For those of you who couldn't see me doing my hand thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's full circle.
Yeah.
It's really full circle in a really beautiful kind of a way too. Like,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of seems like the hero's journey in 12 months in a weird kind of a way.
Really does. It really.
Jackie Rowe now that she's back with her lover, she's able to be free to be herself. She doesn't have to wear that binding of the men's clothes and the soldiers stuff. She doesn't have to be on the ship sailing out to sea. It's like she's like, I've reunited with my heart, my knight, and now I get to be the beautiful lover that I am.
Wow.
Woo.
All right, let's party.
Worry.
Really love that the last 2 months were like the beginning and the next stage of personal development, that it was like, let me take a pause and really consider, really focus and gather my energy in November after this year of planning and self-assessment for what it is I'm trying to manifest this year, the journey that I'm on. And the last card is like, I've done it. I've decided what it is I really love. And, I don't care. I'm going to sugar magnolia my life out. Like, I'm moving on, people, and I'm taking my love with me.
Head's all empty and I don't care.
Yeah. Well, and her motivation is joy, which that's so amazing. Like, your heart's fulfillment, that joy. And that's again, through that whole year, we're questioning ourselves the entire year. And so
we're not entirely able to let our guard down in a way. I mean, the Fool card comes through, I think, as a strong reminder to not get too heavy with it all, but there's a lot of, just that amount of action and activity.
Work. Yeah.
Reading. Yeah, exactly. It's like we're constantly feeding, what we're creating, and it's a lot.
Yeah. That May through October is like, I don't know.
What are we going to do?
I'm curious if you guys each had like one word to kind of summarize the reading, what that would be for each of you.
Oh, okay.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'd say, to me, it did like completion. Like a whole journey happens there, like almost 2 whole journeys. Like the first half of year is a journey, and then kind of a reset, and then I say completion, kind of like the last card I drew that brings it to that, like, ready to go. You got the helmet with the wings on, you're ready to go, your balls out, like, boom.
Yeah.
I would
like a lot of cleaning in the beginning and a lot of questioning, and then some like, oh shit, we got that, and then redoing it again, and then to the end with that. I'd say completion.
I love that.
I would say 2 words: owning yourself. And even though these cards came in a lot of 3s, and there's 3 of us here and everything, like these cards are very like personal as to like, what's your intention? What are you doing to work toward it? Are you saying what you mean? Are your dreams coming forward? And so it's like owning yourself. It's owning the good, the bad. It's owning your dreams. It's owning your progress. And it really feels like something that is like being revealed, but it's the something is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's fulfillment, because at the beginning, it's this very active kind of planning, setting out, and then setbacks, right? Things that happen that are painful, a retooling, a resetting out, and then completion.
If I'm not
So
mistaken,
it's like fulfillment, it's a full circle.
I feel like we had a resetting out last. Okay, so this was
even if we didn't, we did.
Listen to what we had. For January last year was the Queen of Bears. February was the Queen of Roses. March. Ooh, why don't I have that one on? I don't know why I don't have March, but April's the Page of Bolts. May is the 7 of Bears.
Court cards last year, lots of influential people, and interesting.
June, what's Let It Grow? What card is Let It Grow?
There's 2, either the King of Bears or the Queen of Roses.
Queen of Roses showed up twice.
Yeah,
remember?
Yep. So it's got to be, that's June. And then why don't I write these down? July's a sunflower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Which July was the sunflower.
Grass magic of your life. That's my note. Okay. And then August 8th, or August was the 8 of Roses, and so was September. October, the 3 of Bears. November, the 3 of Bolts, and then December, the Knight of Bears.
Thinking about that sunflower to the 8 of Roses transition, like I relate to that, because it was like everything was so bright and so big and so good, but then it was like, fuck, I'm so tired and I'm exhausted. You can't sustain that level of like, hey, it's like, no, I need to like tuck in, There was
we were saying like,
gosh,
there was a festival that we did at the end of September. Probably one of my favorite festivals I've ever been to is Cascade Equinox Festival out here. And when Cascade Equinox was over, the 3 of us were sitting on the porch a couple of days later, and we were like, I'm so ready for the fall and to be inside and to be home and to just hibernate and cook food and be cozy and not be running around crazy. And it's
been some of that. We've still had like our little spurts of craziness here and there.
Yeah,
this last week was very busy. Active. But it definitely has been that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Every ounce of it has been worth it.
But I like what you said, Liz. You're like, you can't sustain that level of high energy. Even athletes, they have a game time and then the game is done. The musicians have their stage time, then the show's over. No matter how much energy you put on that stage, you can't take that with you. Like you can still be excited and happy, but there's no level of energy that's going to match what your game time is, And so it felt like an extended game time for us.
Yeah,
we did a lot better than we used to.
We get addicted to that level of going and being like on the top of our game, so to speak, so that when, that 8 of Roses energy comes in and we've got to kind of be a little more humble and like, kind of check ourselves a bit. It was a little bit of a reality.
And
I feel like 23 was a very like confusing and almost like chaotic. Like I'm like, I can't find the path in front of me. Sorry to bring up fish. But like,
don't ever be sorry for that, Erin.
Yeah. I'm just like, and listening back, thank you for taking notes. It's like, oh, I can totally see that. That was a very chaotic reading, honestly, like trying to create the story out of those cards. Whereas I'm feeling very hopeful about 2024 because I feel like 2024 made a lot of sense this reading. There was a lot of repetition of the themes of like activating, looking for your heart's desire, assessing your heart's desire, assessing other people's emotional attachment or negativity or positivity to that journey, but like realizing that you do have the right, stay focused. And for me, it was a nice, what Apple was saying was a nice reminder that like, yeah, when you're trying to do something, when you're trying to start a new business, when you're trying, Liz, to buy a new house or something, it's like we kind of want it all to happen now, but it's literally a journey. And just because there's pauses and hard times doesn't mean you're not getting there.
Yeah, I think you're so right. Like sometimes we forget that just because we're not moving at this second, there is still momentum happening in everywhere around us, like the email that we sent that we haven't gotten a response back. It's in the process of being answered. We just don't see these things. And so we can get impatient. And I know for us, like, because we do so much and everything is centered around talking, sometimes talking about the things that just happened, we need to do that, but we don't do it because we're
already doing something else.
We're doing something else. We're talked out. It's already over. Let's just move on. But for that, like you were saying, Erin, with like having a business plan and it's living, it's like you need to keep going. You need to feed this thing. And it's not necessarily the same energy all the time, but it does require energy.
And that brings us back to maybe the reading with the Three of Skulls, where that came through too. It's like, fine, all right, we're done trying to do something that's not working, and then suddenly boom, it brings us back to the beginning.
Yeah.
I think for me, when I knew that I wanted to do No Simple Road full time, I had a misconception that there wasn't like a made it with the show and the doing this, like
a location like that you get to.
Yeah, like this will mean that we've made it, right?
Yeah.
I had that in my head, and I've realized that there is no end. The thing is just a road, and it goes forever.
It's a journey
until I die, and then it starts over.
It keeps changing.
And
it's really good wisdom. That's really, really a good message.
Well, it's true.
Pivot. Like my art career has been pivot.
Yeah.
And I do explain that to my students in art school. I was like, for me, unless you're one of the very lucky few, unless you're the, Rick Griffin or, Donna Karan, but you want to live a creative life, like, what is your goal? My goal is to live creatively and not work for other people. And so I build buildings, I create tarot decks, I design clothing. Like I will do anything in the pursuit of that rather than being like, oh, if I don't become a rock poster artist, I'm going to go work at the bank. It's like, because that's not my goal. My goal is to work for myself and be creative. And that's what I'm going to do. What I do love about this smaller deck, though, that I don't know that Liz and I, obviously for people like yourselves, people that super love the deck, will always be super special, always be a piece of memorabilia, hopefully, like for the Grateful Dead that you super treasure, is what I think is going to happen. Like imagine if the Rider-Waite deck came out in something like our box set, and then 80 years later, not that I expect 80 years later necessarily, but like 80 years later, it was everywhere. And people were like, oh my God, you have the first edition of that. And it looks like that. And I have this, what I mean? Like,
fully.
I think it's really going to be like a feather in the cap of people that have the box set. Because I think people are going to more so want it. All these people that don't even know it exists.
I agree.
How, and back to like how to reach those people. If you figure it out, man, let me know, because I said this we were talking to Cam the other day, like at every show, I'm like, man, this stadium full of people could all be people that would listen to No Simple Road. Like, not in a weird ego way, but like, these are all people that could be part of the family. Like that would be so rad if we could reach everybody. I don't know.
If 1/10 of them,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
totally.
Liz and I are like, or at least I say it, I'm like, look at our followers on Instagram. There's like close to 3,500. That's basically the amount of the run of the box set. If everybody who followed us on Instagram just bought a damn deck, we'd be sold out.
Wow.
When we look at the Instagram, you know, insights, it's like the algorithm only shows us like 200 people. It's like it's so hard. Like, it's awful.
No, we exist.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. We just hit 11,000 followers on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
If every one of them gave $1 a month,
not even that,
on Patreon.
We have,
I support you.
Yes, that.
We have the lowest listener number that we've had in 6 months. And we hit 11,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
So the two don't equate.
The listeners and
like
Instagram are not
selling tarot cards. The listeners to the show, though, that whatever that magic thing is,
and we've heard before too that sometimes that's two different worlds. Like, people that follow us on Instagram but don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I've had people say, "Oh, you guys do a podcast," and they follow us.
It's like, it's right there. Do you even read the bio or anything, or you're just looking at picture? You want the picture book, and that's it.
So,
yeah.
I don't think that social media is a good indicator of where you're at in physical reality.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a very sad meme actually just yesterday, and it was like a funeral, like a cartoon funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like two people with a bunch of empty seats, and the quote was, "I don't understand. She has like 2,000 friends on Facebook."
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
Made perfect.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about important stuff now. Not that everything else wasn't important. Are you both going to be at the Sphere?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a hold on your account yet?
I'm
just
be
joking.
Wait, I got to go off the phone.
I need to go start.
Did you have your
dinner.
aunt
We're
put
gonna be
in for
eating
extras
late.
and your mom and your ex?
I just want to say I love you ladies. I got to go start dinner, or we're gonna be eating dinner. It's my dinner night. This is awesome. It was great to see you two again. Can't wait to see you in person again. I will be at the Sphere only on Sunday, but I'm making a show. Yeah, I work in the cannabis industry. I have to work on 420. It's
That's
like one of those
Martin's
mandatory
starting
things.
To say, I'm like,
She's like, that's too bad you got to work.
420 is like the Christmas of cannabis. Right. So that was awesome as always. Love you too, and congratulations and good luck on everything coming up. So,
Oh my
right on.
So I bought a travel package.
Ooh,
Good for you.
Yeah.
so you have tickets.
I got floor tickets.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're going. It's happening.
I'm happy
Right
for
on.
you.
Yeah.
We're definitely. I have no doubt that we're.
Oh, you're
gonna be
going. It's
Yeah.
it was,
We have a room. We have a room right across the street at the Holiday Inn Resort right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So-
right on.
We're gonna have plenty of room for party shenanigans.
Hell yeah.
So.
It was the funniest, like, cool synchronicity thing with getting the package. Like, I'm sitting here at my desk and it's a work day or whatever, and I wasn't gonna do it, and then I looked and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna just try. And you know how those things are, like, it's over in seconds, right?
Right.
And it was like they go on sale at 10, and it was like 9:40, and I was scrolling Instagram, and I follow this like positive manifestation page. It's like quotes, and they're like, and I'm scrolling, and it's this guy, and he's talking, and he's like, when you want something in the physical, you have to embody the feeling. You feel the feeling first. I know it's antithetical, but feel the feeling first, and then go out and do whatever it takes to get the thing. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So like I sat here and I was like, fuck yeah, I got the tickets. Yeah. And then I went on, and you know how it's like, you're number 4,900 million in line. I was number like 38 or whatever. And I was like, holy smokes.
When he came upstairs, he was like floating. His toes were barely touching the floor. And he was like, Mel? He's like,
it was our anniversary. It was our 26th anniversary.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was like, happy anniversary, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. It's on.
Dude, you just literally explained the three of bolts. That is
really?
Exactly what that card is. Like, talk about what you want. Say it. Make it real.
Yes.
Like, tell the universe literally out loud.
I
did it.
I think I could do it for concert tickets. No, I think where I get hung up, at least I have in the past, is the feeling first part. Because we are conditioned to only, we live in a reward-based system of, right?
So it takes us away from our power to literally manifest an emotion on our own without any outside interference.
Yeah.
That's what scarcity is. You know, we're really not centered in the feeling. We're creating from not having the feeling. And
now you're creating the not having by not having of the feeling. Yeah. It's wild. So that's a small, no, it's not small. That's an instance of like manifestation happening right then and there. You did it. You saw it. That's magic. You did it. Now, the thing that I'm trying to cultivate with myself is not being like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Because now you're programming yourself to not believe that
things
happened.
Yeah.
I'm trying to cultivate, of course, in myself. Of course that happened. Of course it did. That's what was supposed to happen. I did the thing, and now boom, there it is. Of course.
That is, I feel like that is the medicine of the reading too. Like with the three and the page of roses, like embody it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's amazing. I'm definitely planning on going. I have no idea if I have tickets.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm sure that I will get tickets. I
feel the feeling
I've never been shut out.
And you never will.
Exactly. And you won't.
I don't expect to be. So I'm staying at the Mandalay Bay. I've got a room. I like it down there. It's far away from the Sphere, but that's where I wanted to say, Ophelia.
Hi,
What's
Ophelia.
up, Ophelia?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Are you the one that helped your mom with the deck? Did you draw one of them?
She helped me color.
Okay.
Rose came up with the three of bolts concept.
Oh, wow.
That was one of the cards that Rose came up with. That one and the 5 of skulls. And I think there was one other one. I have to look through them.
The 2 of bolts, maybe?
Wow.
Yes, the 2 of bolts, the 3 of bolts, and the 5 of skulls were all Rose's thumbnails concepts.
Wow.
Yeah, but Fifi helped me color them, sat on my lap at the computer for the book where it's like the gold, she chose where the gold was going to fill in the figures and
Good job, Ophelia. That's
so cool.
Awesome.
You should have put your name in the credits.
Right.
Yeah, right.
One of my friends made both Rose and Fifi sign their book.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Sweet.
So lastly, on the Sphere, I'm going to say the one thing that I love about this event, it's different than any fish event ever in the history of fish, because there's no 1.0 fan that can be like, well, I remember at the Sphere in 97. No, we're all going to be experiencing something completely unique.
You'll find that 1.0 person from the first night to the Sunday show.
Oh yeah, I was at the.
Let me show you what it's all about. That'll be me. I'll be like, I found the dancing space.
Yeah,
follow me.
I'm coming with you if you tell me that.
Well, this is exciting. At least if we don't see each other, anytime soon, we have a date. We have an awesome date.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Wait, what's our card for April?
Ooh. Our card for
For Spear Month card.
I think that's before everything went
The
south.
Three of Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
before.
you guys paint my masterpiece.
Yes.
Let's hope they do a good job with that animation.
Let's go.
Ooh.
All right.
Ladies,
will.
it's been such a heart hug to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Like,
so.
Thanks for engaging us again, guys. Really,
this is
it's
dope.
tonight.
I love this.
We have
You know?
1, 2. We have 3 more Fridays.
But we want to get it out before the end of the year.
I'm going to put it out on the 29th.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. So
Yeah,
this,
and
You're
we'll
not
get a
coming to
newsletter
NSR,
and
though, right?
yeah, I'll send you a reminder the week before that I'm going to put it out.
okay, perfect.
Okay.
No
Yay.
MSG for you. No MSG.
No,
No.
we're doing some local stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to
Right
see
on.
Spafford.
We're doing that energy inward. We're going out the days before and chilling at home
Mel
on the
Mel
Yeah.
told me tonight, she was like, this band Diggin' Dirt that we like, she's like, Diggin' Dirt is this Sunday. I was like, no more. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I hear it. It gets like that, honestly.
It does. It does.
Well, take care of you.
I am.
That's the
I
most
am.
important.
All right.
Love you.
Thanks so
Mwah.
much for this.
Bye.
Talk soon.
Enjoy the dinner, Apple Mate.
Yeah, it's fajitas. Talk to you later.
Oh, yeah. Good night.
Bye.
Like twisting, turns and mission, turning this to journal. Wish the word as many problems, but it's a burden. Felony just been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps,
And this is Monica Strutt.
and we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.